A compact mechanical keyboard that'll speed up your typing. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I spend a lot of time typing on the keyboard of my laptop. And they're not great keyboards because they tend to be membrane, so there's no motion or there's very little motion versus classic mechanical keyboards. And that's what this is. This is the Cherry KW300MX mechanical keyboard. This one has the MX2A red switches, and you can get it with brown switches, and it's hot swappable. So if you really like one of the other Cherry switches, and they're like a rainbow of colors with different characteristics and clickiness and how far they go down, but if you want a different one, you can get it with that. It is a nice compact size. It's a 67 key layout, and you'll notice there's a dial on the side. It's not for volume. It is, I hope you can see that, it is for the LED lighting that's behind the keyboard. So you can turn the light up if you're using it at night, or you can turn the light all the way down and extend its battery life because it actually works wirelessly. So it connects via USB-C. They have a USB-C to USB-A cable. It's a nice long braided cable, really nice high quality. And on the back, there's that USB-C. That's also how you charge it. But you can also use it as a Bluetooth keyboard, and it's Bluetooth 5.2, and you can connect up to 3 devices and then basically just keystroke switch between them. So right now, I'm on Bluetooth 1, which it's indicating by that flashing underneath the F1. So Bluetooth 1, Bluetooth 2, Bluetooth 3, and then F4 would represent the cable connection. So one of the cool things is by default, it has Windows keys, including the Windows key, but you actually can swap those out. If you want to use this on a Mac, it actually includes 3 replacement keys that are Option and Command. So they don't have the command graphic, but you can pop the keycap off and put the other one on using this included tool. In fact, let's do just that so you can see how easy it is. To demonstrate how easy it is to change the keycaps, I'm going to replace the Windows key with the Option key that will make this a little bit more Mac friendly. It includes this convenient tool, and that's easy to work with. You just put it on both sides of the key and then sort of wiggle it around until it's actually underneath both sides. And then with a gentle lift, that comes off. And then we put the new one on, and that's just a matter of just getting it in the right place, giving it a gentle push, and it's ready to go. And then I can do the same thing replacing Alt with Command, which is a more Mac-friendly keycap too. So I'm going to pull this one off in the same way, and then I'm done with the tool, and I can just put the Command key on here and push it down, and we're ready to roll. So now we have all these keys, and as you can see, they light up. It's not quite the same as the other keys, but it's pretty close. And we can try dialing up the brightness. See now, so they are flashing red to tell us that something's happening. And then I can turn the light off. And then actually, I think they kind of look better that way. There we go. This keyboard is ready for Mac use. Let's talk a little more about those red switches. Remember I said this is using the red switch. You might have seen that, the red part extending outward from the switch underneath the keycap. So those are double shot keys with 1 kilohertz polling rate. And that polling rate's really important because if you're typing really quickly, or more importantly, if you're a gamer and you're using a key as a way to enter, say, a command that you're doing, it'll go really quickly. So you'll have a really fast response, which is pretty important if you're a PC gamer. It is a soundproof housing, so it's pretty quiet. In fact, let me give you a close-up of how far down the key goes too. It is a multi-connection keyboard, as I said, so you can use it wired and then never worry about battery, or you can use it wirelessly, Bluetooth with 3 different devices. The lithium-ion battery that you would be charging, it's supposed to run a couple of weeks of typical usage if you don't have the lighting on. If you turn the lights up to maximum brightness because you're tending to work in the dark, number 1, not great for your eyes. Number 2, you are going to have a little less battery life, but it will actually flash a couple of keys red every so often, and that'll be your sign that it's down to 10% battery and you need to plug it in for a couple hours and then it'll be good again. There's also an app called the Cherry Keys app, and that's available off of the cherry.de. They're a German company, so it's off their website. Not so easy to find. I include a link directly to that in my description for this video. But it's a Windows app and it lets you do a lot more customization, and you can specify that when you press F10 that it generates this sequence of keys, for example. I do want to highlight that it also comes with what honestly is probably one of the most confusing user guides I've ever experienced. This was so confusing that I actually downloaded a copy, zoomed in, and made my own cheat sheet to figure out how to do all the different functions. And I'll tell you one that's pretty important, especially if you're going to do the Mac keys and use it on a Mac, is if you hold function M for 3 seconds, it'll switch into Macintosh key mode, which makes it a little more compatible with Mac OS. If you don't want to do that, you can also do function W to go back into its default, which is Windows mode. Now, let's have a close-up look of all the keys and how it's all laid out. So I'll just sort of pan slowly across the keyboard and you can see it's a really nice setup. It's really easy to work with. Dimensions-wise, it's 12.6 inches wide by 5.3 inches by 1.5 inches, and it's 1.65 pounds, so it's a little hefty. This is not necessarily something that's highly portable, but it is such a nice feel to it. And I'll also point out on the back that it does have little feet, so if you prefer it at an angle, it is ready for you at that angle. That's easy enough. And if you're going to have it off for a while, it'll automatically turn off the backlighting after not being used for a couple of seconds. But you can also actually push and hold down on that dial, and after a couple of seconds, it will actually power all the way down. So the keyboard is now off. But I'm going to turn it back on. And when you turn it on, it actually will flash to show you. So again, I'm not sure you can see it, but the F1 is flashing. And that I've paired with my Chromebook. So I have a Lenovo Chromebook, so I thought you could maybe see how smooth the typing is. Let me go ahead and get this set up and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can see that, and I am going to type in, and of course, since I am not seeing what I type, it might be a bit awkward. So it's really easy to work with, and the keys feel really nice. I like the distance they travel down, so it gives you that nice physical feedback. And yet, as you just heard, it's also quite quiet. I've tried other Cherry keyboards and other mechanical keyboards, and some of them have a lot of clickety-clackety sound, which is fun, or can be fun, but there's a lot to be said for having a quieter keyboard, especially if you tend to work late at night. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, and that's really everything I have. I am a big fan of this. I really like these mechanical keyboards, and I really appreciate the flexibility of being able to use it in wired mode. And of course, you can do a USB-C to USB-C if that's more convenient for example, a Macintosh. Though you would need your own cable in that case, or USB-C to USB-A is certainly a classic PC setup for a PC computer, and works with Chrome via Bluetooth. You can use this with tablets. You could use this with a smartphone. Imagine taking notes on your phone, but using this keyboard. Huge change, big improvement. So if you're tired of those little membrane keyboards or the tiny keyboards built into your laptop that have like a 0.5 millimeter play and just don't feel very good when you're typing, then this is a solid alternative. This is a professional level keyboard that will serve you really well, whether you're a writer, whether you're a gamer, or whether you just want to be able to type in your search queries or your AI prompts with a little bit more ease and comfort. Definitely one to check out. We do need to talk price. It is a little spendy, but before we get there, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications of my new content, and please give me a thumbs up if you found this of value. And if there's something you wish I would have covered but I didn't, please go ahead and leave that in the comment so I can do better next time. Excellent. This is the Cherry KW300MX mechanical keyboard. This one has the MX2A red switches, and it is $149.99 at Amazon.com. That sounds like a lot of money for a keyboard, but I promise you, if you get this and you give yourself a couple of days to get used to it, you will not look back, and you will find that you're typing faster and more accurately. So, lots to like here. That's what I got. Hope to catch you in my next video.